When I'm making an Irish red ale, I'm making a beer that's surprisingly clean. A lot of people in America think that Irish red ales are supposed to be big and fruity. Really, they're supposed to be a nice, light, dry beer that has a toasted biscuit floor, a little bit of roast character to help pop that red out, and are relatively unassuming when it comes to hops. So let's go over my Irish ale recipe. We're gonna go ahead and brew it on a 5-gallon scale. This is one we did on the 50-gallon scale. Let's go ahead and get some malts and then jump into, then Ryan will follow me around and we'll find some stuff to put inside of here. This beer can come in anywhere between 4 and 6%, so we're gonna try to land somewhere in that range with about an 11-pound grain bill. And I'm actually going to split the base malts between Halcyon and Heidelberg so that the Halcyon can provide character, but the Heidelberg can help brighten this beer up. Aside from the base malts, we are going to be keeping the rest of this recipe pretty simple. We've got 2 main coloring malts. One of them is going to be Special B, and that's going to add some sweetness, a little bit of fruity like dried prune notes as well, but not be overly sweet. Then we also have some Special X, which is going to be in that same color range, has a phenomenal red pop, and is going to offer us a little bit of toast quality. Finally, we're just kicking it off with a little bit of roasted barley. That roasted barley is going to offer us a little bit of that roast character, and mostly it's just going to help pop that red color. We're going to do the water chem off camera, but here is the profile we're going for. Overall, it's not going to be Burton-on-Trent water, but this is going to be more minerality than a lot of other styles that we'd be doing. So let's go ahead and get mashed in, and Ryan's gonna dance on camera. When it comes to mash temperature, we're gonna be aiming low on this bad boy. I'm probably gonna be going around 148 for the duration, and then maybe raise up to a mash out temperature of 165 at the end. But keep in mind, everything that we're doing from here on out, we're doing because we are kind of making this a crispy boy. These things are not big, sweet beers like a lot of Americans who label Irish red ales try to make them. So aim for that 148 mash out temperature. Because we have the mash and boil, we can recirculate the entire time, which will help us increase our efficiency. And there also are some rice hulls in there to help the lauderability of the grist. If you got enzymes lying around, this might be a good time to use them as well. Not necessary in the style of beer, but I always find it helps consistency, so it's never a bad idea. If you want to know more about enzymes and other brewing hacks, check out our video on, I think it's called 5 Things You Can Be Doing Better to make sure your brew days go smoothly and are quick and efficient and all that jazz. So we are currently up at mash out temperature. You can see that this runoff is running nice and clear and looking beautiful. So we're gonna go ahead and turn off the pump and pull that out and then start our sparge process. I love animals. And we're gonna keep heating up while that is all sparging off so we can shorten our boil a little bit. So yeah, we'll come back when we're talking about hops, I guess. We are all sparged out, and this has been kind of sitting on there for a little bit. So we are at a rolling boil. Let's talk really quickly about the hops that I'm gonna be using. I chose Nelson Sauvin for this. It's a very subtle back end flavor when it comes to the hop, but I chose it for this beer because I actually don't want hop flavor in this beer. Hop flavor is not usually important, but if you do want some hop flavor in this, maybe throw a little late addition of something like Fuggles or East Kent Goldings into the beer. I don't want that. Like I said before, we're making a crispy boy. These are not the styles of American Irish reds that you see where they're extra fruity and a lot of flavor. This is gonna be a crispy boy. So this is 1.25 ounces of Nelson Sauvin, and that's just gonna go in 45 minutes from the end of the boil. We're at the end of the boil now, and I'm actually going to transfer this one hot into my fermenter, even though I sanitized my fermenter. That's just gonna make it easy for me to go ahead and chill it around. So let's go ahead and get this transferred in there, then we'll take it back to where we're going to chill it, and we'll talk about the yeast and how we're gonna ferment this thing out. Welcome to our fancy chilling room. We're just gonna pop this lid off. Try on our best not to burn our fingies. That's going right in there. And then I'm gonna go grab the yeast and we can talk a little bit about how we're gonna ferment this guy. So when that is done chilling down, we're gonna be adding Darkness yeast. Darkness is a traditional Irish yeast. It's the Guinness strain, and you see it used a lot in Irish stouts. That said, I want to mention that fermented warm, this will also produce more fruitiness that I want. We are trying to make this sort of a crispy boy with just some fun fruity flavors to go along with it. So I'm going to be fermenting this guy at 62 degrees. If you're doing that, it's very important that you make a good yeast starter or add extra yeast and also do nutrients and oxygenation or everything you can do to make sure that yeast is super healthy. If you can't do this at 62 degrees, if you can't temperature control, you can just as easily use something that is a clean fermenting yeast at a warmer temperature. I'm thinking like Kolsch yeasts, like 3470, those will all work, but we're trying to make this kind of a clean beer. So Once that's done chilling down, we're gonna add this, ferment it for about 3 weeks at that 62 degrees, and we should have what you saw at the beginning of this video, a nice clean Irish red. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to support us, then just keep watching us. That's really all you gotta do. Or like the video, that helps too. Leave some comments, argue with some people in the comments, that always helps. Start a little conversation there. Subscribe to our second channel, Genius Not Brewing, if you want to see us doing things that aren't brewing. We have a Discord server if you want to jump on that. Follow us on Instagram. Usually we're pretty nude on our OnlyFans account, so if you want to subscribe to that, that's pretty cool too. Ryan's got a TikTok. It's all linked below. Find it, and we'll see you next time. Let us know what kind of content you want. If you like beer making videos, or if you like advice videos, or you know, team building on Minecraft or whatever, just let us know.